Hello, my loves. How are we doing? How are we going today? Good. I hope you are well. I have just showered, so I feel awesome. You know how like when you take a shower during the middle of the day and you feel like you are so fresh and so clean? That is me today. So today, what I want to talk about with you is being an energetic match to your pricing. So I get this question quite a few times, have gotten this question quite a few times about pricing, like knowing what to price your products and how to go about it and what to do when you feel off about them, or what to do if you feel like it's a bit too cheap or too affordable or blah 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 blah. Insert your concern about prices here, right? And so what I found is I've gone through this myself many times. I go through it almost every time I like increase my prices. But here's what a lot of people do when they're pricing, especially like in the first stages, like if they've just launched a business and just launched a new course or program or service. They base their prices on what others in the industry have priced their products and services, or they take into account the technical part, like what another entrepreneur is offering in their program or service, and they base it on that. A lot of people base it on being cheaper in the industry because maybe they've just started, and so they feel like they don't have the right to charge high tiered prices, or they want to sort of undercut everyone and be cheaper in the industry. And for whatever it is, it always comes back to being an energetic match to what you are charging for, right? It's not necessarily about what you're giving, it's about what you are a match to. Now, there comes a problem when if what you feel a match to doesn't match the true value of what you're giving. So like basically if you're undercharging is what I'm talking about. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about undercharging, because you don't feel worthy of charging more, but what you are delivering is really valuable and worth more than what you believe you're a match to. So I've had this many times with my products. I've definitely always been on the undercharging spectrum with my own products, and I've definitely been working through this over the years. But what winds up happening is, even though you are undercharging and people are really happy and you know, you're getting messages and emails saying like, wow, this is so much value and so cheap and so affordable, over time what you'll find is that it feels off. Something in your energy about it feels like you're being taken advantage of. Well, this has been my case. And what can happen is you can almost become more resentful about your own product and what people are paying you for it, right? You become like resentful and think that you're being taken advantage of in some sense. However, it's your own fault because you've undercharged, and instead of working on your stuff around your prices, you've undercharged because it's easier for you to be okay with it, but really you're not okay with it energetically, and so that's why it's like off, out of balance. And so what I would say to that, for me, what I've been doing is working on what I believe, sorry, these notifications keep popping up on my phone, working on what I believe and what I want to believe about my own pricing and about my own products, because what you have to do is you have to get behind your own prices. So the first thing that I do is I have like a scale, like I can write it on a piece of paper, or I can actually have an imaginary scale. And I pick a couple of prices that I think that my product or service would be worth. What I believe it would be worth. So we'll say 97, 197, 497, right? And so what I do is, I go through each price and I say, okay, energetically, how does 97 feel? It feels way too cheap. Way too cheap. Like, no, I do not. I'm not happy with that at all. That does not feel good. Okay, what about 197? Yeah, I could get on board with that, but I still honestly feel like it's undercharging. Okay, well, what about 497? 497 feels like a bit of a stretch. I mean, I would love to charge that, but I don't know if it's worth it. Okay, pause. Why do I feel like it is not worth 497? And so what I would do is I would journal on it. I would do some, ask myself some questions. Why do I believe it's not worth it? What am I actually giving in this product or service that is of value? And so I would do almost like a pros and cons list, but it's also just trying to figure out where I'm at on the scale. And then once I figured out what I'm actually feeling about it, why I don't think it's worth 497, maybe because I feel like I've still just got a little bit more to learn on that, and I can charge 497 at a later time when I go to update the course on a second round. Or if you're a coach and you haven't got many coaching clients under your belt, that's something you can charge later on. And so I would come back to the scale and go, so 197? No, that's still undercharging. How about 297? Yeah, that feels like a really good sweet spot. I am on board with that. So that's one way I would do it. Now, the other way is if you're offering the same kind of product, right? Like a course, 8-week course about whatever, and it's definitely worth around 197, 297, 397, but you go ahead and decide to charge 97 or less than 97, like $47, and even though you know and you believe it's worth 297, you can't, there's something in you that cannot charge. There's a huge fear that comes up that people won't buy if you charge any more than $47 or $97. That there is a huge, big indicator that you need to work on your own worthiness around what you want, right? Around your desires. That's when you start doing the journal practice. Here's what I'm afraid of. Here's what I think about myself. Here's the thing that I fear that's going to happen if I charge this price. Here's why I don't think I'm worthy of it. You go through all of that crap, all of those things that aren't true, and ask yourself, is that true? No, it's not true. Why isn't it true? Here's why it's not true. And then after that, you start moving into telling a different story about it until you can get yourself on board with the possibility of charging $297 for that product, right? Because, like I said, when you undercharge, you will eventually become resentful, angry, feel like you're being taken advantage of by it, which is not what we want, because we're trying to move into the vibration and into the belief and into the feelings of I am deeply supported financially by the universe, right? So undercharging is not a match for that, right? So you're out of congruence with what you're trying to manifest, it's off balance, right? So you need to work on that stuff, work on your inner stuff about why you feel like you're not worthy of charging more, even though you know it's worth more, right? Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. So that's what I have to say on pricing today, I think. Let me just check if there's anything else I want to say on that. Yeah, it's really just a scale thing for me. And really getting behind the price. Once I decide the price, getting behind it energetically. And if I feel like I'm not worthy of that price, but I feel like it is worth, if I feel like it's worth that price, but I feel like I am not worthy of charging that price, that's where my work comes in. That's when I start doing the journaling. That's when I start doing the visualizing, the forgiveness work, the really working through my own beliefs to figure out why I feel like I'm not worth this. And then telling that new story, that new empowering story, and getting behind why it is worth that much. Okay? Because if your energy is off about your pricing, it's going to reflect with the type of customers you get, with the type of sales that you make or don't make. It will reflect, right? But when you are aligned, 100% aligned with your pricing, oh man, do the sales come in? And are the customers high quality? Super high quality. That's another thing about undercharging, is the type of customers you could attract, because you are allowing yourself to be taken advantage of, in a sense. You're allowing it, but you're doing it to yourself, right? Like, your customers aren't doing it to you. It's nothing to do with your customers. It's you and your own beliefs and your own self-worth about it. Is that the kind of customers you get can be not that great, you know? Like, a lot of them will have issues or complaints, or they just want a lot of help for nothing really. They want like extra support for free and they expect it. And that's all on you because you haven't set those boundaries, right? So use the scale. And if you discover that you're undercharging based on your own self-worth, then do the journal work. Okay? All right. Okay, my love. That is all from me today. If you got value out of this live stream today, please share it with someone, anyone, with your friends who would find it valuable. And if you have any feedback or you have any questions about pricing yourself, you know what to do. Write them in here. I'm happy to chat with you. Other than that, I will see you later. I've got some work to do. Okay, bye.